You haven't heard from me? You heard of me, have you?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, if I'm talking
Do you like American football?
You know what? I don't. I got this top and I like it that much. 3 years I've been pushing away with this top, so I'll just keep it going.
You know what? One of my favourite jumpers ever was like this baggy, long sleeve jumper that my dad's friend from America, from Michigan, got for me.
Okay.
And I lost it in the park one day playing football. But one of my favourite. I get it. I don't watch American football, so yeah.
I'm more into the wrestling side of things than myself.
You watch MMA?
Say again?
You watch MMA?
Oh yeah, occasionally, but I'm more WWE.
Okay, cool. Have you heard of Conor McGregor?
Nah.
He's an Irish guy.
Yeah.
Crazy guy.
He's by your hat.
Okay.
He's the king of shit talking. Like.
Oh really?
Next level. They say he's a better shit talker than Muhammad Ali. That's saying
really?
something.
Wow.
That's saying
okay.
something. If you're ever bored, I'd say that. I'll just tell you a bit about who we are. and what we do,
Yeah, go for it.
So if you know Chelsea,
Yes.
so we know her for a mutual friend.
Okay.
And her mutual friend, we're moving into a studio with them as we've just set up a media company.
Okay.
It's called Inspire Media, and it's
Yeah.
about giving a platform to sort of inspirational people and organisations who are making a dent in the world. They're doing something,
Okay.
and giving content back to young people where they
Cool.
can learn from.
Yeah.
Can give some knowledge or whatever that will
Okay.
help them pursue. Because I think there's a lot of knowledge and good stuff out in the world that
Absolutely.
young people don't learn.
Yeah.
Or you don't even know it exists. And I feel if we can give that to young people, we can inspire them and give them that
Good on
fire,
you.
that
Good
fire
on
in
you.
their
And you
belly.
be on the camera.
So yeah, we'll just start with your name and what you do.
Yeah, well, my name's Pete Sherriff. I'm former UK DJ of the Year. I've been around for a long time. Started DJing and presenting shows like this when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
I'm from Shard End. My mum lives 300 yards away. So, I've always been part of the community and always done the carnivals and all that. So they've always just shoved me up the front. So, I've been around for a long time, which is why I'm sort of a bit of an integral part of what goes on here. So, I've been around for a while. So, how old am I now? I'm 44. So, it's been a long road, you know. I DJ across the UK doing... hosting 80s and 90s reunions, so that's my thing. But then I'll do these probably 3 or 4 times a year, different sort of big shows.
So what was sort of your DJing like? Your journey, like, were you doing jungle raves back in the day, or what was your journey?
I was more the commercial end. You had sort of 2 or 3 different sides to nightclubs and bars and that sort of thing. And back in the day, everything used to close at 2, you know. So there was never any sort of 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was always the one that played the big clubs, the big Birmingham clubs, from the Dome, a place called the Dome, which is sort of 3,000 capacity monster club, to a place called DNA, which is another sort of monster club. I've done them all in the town, really. And then you've got the dancier side of things, which I tend to steer away from. But then in 2003, I became DJ at BCM in Magaluf, which was the biggest club in the world, and then got superseded by something else, and then now it's the biggest club in the world again. So I've been around the block a little bit, you know. A little bit. So, but yeah, you know, it's been fun. I've had a fun journey, and winning DJ of the Year in '95 was probably my peak, if you like.
Yeah.
But that was a good feeling and a good experience, because it was a competition of all UK DJs, and it was certainly different, and I was proud to stand there and go, thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, the main question.
Yeah.
What inspires you? Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? Other than the fact that probably the only thing I can do. No, you know what? I love to entertain people. My thing is being in front of people, whether I'm playing records, whether I'm introducing musical youth, for instance, or me and those guys work together quite a bit. We go from we've known each other since we were kids. You know, I used to live in Shard End, they used to live in Duddieston Manor, and we used to always get on the same bus going into the city. So we've known each other for a long time. So for me, what motivates me is to be part of an event, to be nine times out of 10 be the front man, and to be the man that says, ladies and gentlemen, whoever. That's what guides me. I love for people to be entertained. If people go away from here today, good, bad, not had a good time, had a good time, as long as they've seen something and they've enjoyed it, I'm happy.
How does the event grown over the past few
man,
years? And where do
well, you
see it
see,
going?
my family used to run the carnival, which was the predecessor to this, and we did. My mum did 12 years of carnivals, and then I took over and I did 3 years of carnivals, and I was doing other things, so I couldn't really focus. And then carnival stopped, and then 3-4 years ago, Paul said to me, "Would you like to get involved with this?" I said, "Yeah, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind hosting it." And it got to the point where it took a year. It took a year for us to get our stuff together and get organised, and then we put the first one on, and it was okay. It wasn't a big event. It was just nice, a couple of thousand people. But then it was one day, and on the Sunday, at about 3 o'clock, the heavens opened and it hammered us with rain. So that was it. We probably did in total 4 hours, and it was all over. Last year was a bit of a bigger event, bigger sound system, bigger affair, better acts, and we nailed it. But I think the weather went a bit dodgy again then as well, and it was only really when we had this conversation about this year that they it blew up and it exploded. So we said, yeah, okay, let's do it and let's go for it big time. How many more of these I'll do, I don't know. But you know what? I think where it's going for this part of the community and this area, it's great because there's nothing else like it, and no one else is brave enough to put on something this size, So fair play to the guys because they've done really well. And the pressure that they're under, one of them's over there now, and the pressure he's had today has been pretty scary. So rather him than me, but he's, you know what, you can see. I mean, I'm sure you've been round and had a look, and the event itself works. The local people like it. There's always going to be, you're always going to get some locals that look down their nose at it and don't quite understand it because they don't like big crowds or they don't like loud music, but it's not all about that. It's a community thing. And if you go from the fun fair to the front of the main stage, around all the other things, there's people everywhere, and there's people enjoying themselves, and there's no attitude, there's no pushing and shoving, there's no, even if the music is a little bit more urban than possibly I would have guided it, it still works, so hey, who am I to complain?
So on the final, what advice would you give to the young people who they want to take that small step, like say, you might not necessarily event organisation, but they want to take a big risk, but they're afraid to take that step? What advice would you give?
When I was 15 years old and I was in the school, which has now been knocked down, it used to be behind you, my English teacher said to me, "You'll never make it as a DJ. You'll never make it as a DJ. There'll never be and it's always that cliche thing where you go, you'll never make it." But you know what? There was 3 things. One, I was always around. Always, whatever industry it is, whether it's nightclubs, bars, you want to be a pilot, you want to be there. Be around. Don't sit in your house because it ain't going to come to you. And so many people sit at home waiting for it to come and it never comes. I was always, when a club opened, I was always there. When a bar opened, I was always there. When someone was talking about DJs, I was always there. I always made sure that I was part of the conversation, because people go, "You can do that, can't you? Go on then. Well, you do it first, and if it goes wrong, then we'll." But if you're not there, people can't use you. That's the first thing. The second thing is, don't try and price yourself out before you've got experience. Don't say, "Yeah, I want $3,000 to go and do." Like some of these younger kids that were on this afternoon, a little bit too big for their boots and not really got much experience of doing what needs to be done, and then realistically they fall by the wayside because people forget about them, because they ask for a lot and don't give very much. You know what I mean? And the third thing is, believe in what you got to do. if you're good at something, whatever it is, tap dancing to break dancing to wrestling to whatever, playing records, mixing, if you believe in it, go for it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody, you're good at interviewing, you're good at filming. You guys do that. Go do it. Go be out there. Don't anybody hold you back, because that's the worst thing in the world, sitting there when you're 55 going, I wish when I was 16 I'd have gone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. So that's my advice, because that's what I did, and I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah, that's we were having a conversation saying how I didn't want to meet him at graduation or uni and be like, wait a minute, what if we could have done this when we're doing it now?
Yeah, why sit back? Because the one thing that has always hounded me is, if I had sat back, somebody else would have stepped in front. And somebody else steps in front, you've lost that opportunity. Always take the ball by the horns. It's a cliche saying, take the ball by the horns and run with it. If you fall off, get back up and go again. But otherwise, somebody else will come and somebody else will have that opportunity.
I think as well, like when your teacher said you're not going to make it, it's like young people, sometimes they don't think as big as possible, and like we want to set up, we want this to be the most biggest youth media company. And we honestly believe we're going to get there.
Yeah, do it.
It's that vision.
You know what, when I opened my first nightclub, 5 years ago, everyone told me I was ludic, I was nuts. You're never going to do it, you're never going to get the money, you're never going to get... I had the experience, because I've been in clubs and bars for a long time, and I've done the back of house stuff as well, like the management side of things. But people were telling me I was balmy, but I still did it and opened it, and it was great, It's not there anymore, unfortunately, but it was 4 years of pure, just class, and it was a nice club, and it was nice, and people wanted to be involved in it, because we brought people together to do it, It wasn't just me stood there at the end of the bar drinking champagne. We were all at it. I was DJing, I was running it, do whatever you can to be involved. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Alright?
Well, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, me? Oh, good grief. If you
in the WWE.
Yeah, I wish. Right, Facebook is Facebook.com/Sherriff Media. That's 2 R's and 2 F's in the Sherriff. On Twitter is at Sherriff Media. Check me out, look me up, and see what you can see. All right.
Thank you very much.